Alright, boys, so coming in the market open today, I wanted to see, coming into gold, this is the gold chart, I wanted to see a clear AMD model play out. So what do we have on the higher time frame? On gold. Let me reset the chart. What do we have on the higher time frame on gold? Before market open, we have all of these stacked equal highs. Okay? And then we also have this key level right here. Got this 5 minute, you can see this is a clear key level that has been holding. Perfect. And then if also go back to the 1 hour, we have this equilibrium of this wick, a significant wick up here, right here. So scaling back down into the 1 minute, what do I want to look for? I want to wait for market open, and then I want to wait for the 10 a.m. candle open to pair the PO3 with my trade. So see market open, generating liquidity, clear accumulation model right here, all accumulation. And then what do I see on 940? About when the macro starts to come into play, we see all of this low resistance liquidity starting to get swept, all this buy side starting to get swept, a tap of that key level, a tap of that 1 hour CE, and then what happens? We have a 1 minute fair value gap form, we get an inverse of the 1 minute fair value gap, and then boom, 10 a.m. candle opens. Once I seen the 1 minute inverse fair value gap, and we inversed it, and another 10 a.m. candle was about to open, I seen this was a clear AMD model accumulation right here, manipulation leg, distribution leg, all the way back down. So once I seen we inverse this gap and I seen we sweep out all of these internal highs and tap that CE and that key level, I mark out my fib from the swing leg that sweeps all of the liquidity. So from this swing high down to the swing low, I mark out where is R7, 9 and our 6.8 level right here. So that already gets tapped and pulled back into before we even inverse the gap. So once I see that, I'm like, okay, perfect. Get our inverse. 10 a.m. candles opening, pairing the PO3. We just put in the top wick of that 10 a.m. candle open. That's why we are pairing the PO3. 4 hour candle just got opened. And we are assuming that this is going to be the top wick of that 4 hour candle. So inverse fair value gap, take our short, stops outside this gap or high, whatever you want to do. I put mine outside the gap right there. Literally was just targeting this internal sweep of these lows right here. That was it. Easy 1 to 2.8, almost securing 1 to 3 trade. And if we let the market play out a little bit, you see a continuous fallback to this key level I had. Could have held your trade all the way down there, would have still played out. And then what did I just see a couple of minutes ago? Seen the exact same thing playing out. We're accumulating and just consolidating in this range. So what are we doing? Generating liquidity in this range. Generating liquidity, a clear accumulation. What do we want to wait for? A manipulation leg. So generating liquidity, can't talk. Sweep, manipulation leg of all of these highs. And then we put in a inverse fair value gap. 1 minute inverse fair value gap. So once I see that 1 minute inverse, take our Fibonacci from the swing of the sweep, swing high, down to the swing low, have our equilibrium discount range, 1.68 level, everything you know. Inverse fair value gap, take out our fib, wait for a pullback into our inverse. 168 gets tapped perfectly twice, 3 times. Take your short, stops at the high or outside the fair value gap. 25 tick stop loss right there. Literally was just targeting these 5 minute lows that we just put in right here on that candle. So as you can see, easy 1 to 2 right there. Now I want to get into NQ real quick because I didn't trade NQ, but it was a perfect trade this morning. If you wanted to see, the AMC model was kind of, or AMD model, I don't want to say AMC. The AMD model was kind of clear, not clear here. Like this was technically our accumulation level down here, and then this was our manipulation leg sweeping out all of this liquidity, and then coming to tap this 1 hour fair value gap and back into this key level. So mark out the key level, mark out the fair value gap, We know where price wants to retrace to before making the actual move. All right, get rid of this real quick. And what do we also know with NQ right now? NQ and ES are in an SMT. ES is at all-time highs, while NQ is not. So we have an overall higher time frame SMT. So I don't think we should be looking for longs at any point until NQ starts sweeping this out. I mean, we can take longs, but it would probably be somewhere out of this gap, but that's not what we're talking about right now. So go back into the 1 minute. We see that key level get tapped. We see that SMT, a smaller time frame SMT, gets put in right here. So we pull over ES and go back over here. You can see ES swept this high, while NQ, or ES did not sweep this high, I'm sorry, while NQ did sweep this high. So I'll put in a micro SMT, and then we still take our fib level from that swing leg sweeping the key level, and then the imbalance, take our fib, swing high to the swing low leg, pull back into our 718, 79, literally everything, 618, 79, 1 minute inverse. You see that 1 minute inverse? I did not take a short there. You could have taken the initial short here. That was the initial trade. What was I waiting for? I was waiting for more indication, and market market wasn't even open yet. So we have market open right here, and what do I see? We go right here, 5 minute inverse for value gap. Okay, so we inverse this 5 minute for value gap. If I just take this right here, we inverse it. That was clear indication that where we wanted to go was now lower to then start sweeping out all of this generated liquidity on that swing up move. So go back into the 1 minute. What do I see? I see 1 rejection, 2 rejections, 3 rejections. After I seen 3 rejections, I was like, okay, if it pulls back one more time, we need to enter this trade. And there's no reason not to. But once again, I paper traded it because I already was trading gold today, and I need to keep my consistency rule in play on my firms. So seen this would have been, you would have entered anywhere in these wicks. Any one of these wicks, you would have entered your short, targeting any one of your fib levels down here, and then overall take profits would have been all the way down here. And if you held all day, you would have secured a 1 to 7 R on that NQ short. But yeah, that was the trade recap, boys. If you guys want more of these every day, let me know. I'm gonna put it in the Discord. And yeah.